What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another video. I'm Matt and and today I'm taking out the Yamaha Tricity 300. This thing has got 3 wheels, 2 at the front, 1 at the rear, so it means it's really stable. Not only that, if you've never ridden a bike like this, then it's something to test out because it's a little bit different. I've ridden the Yamaha Nikon in the past, and that when you get going you forget you've got these 2 massive wheels at the front, and because Yamaha have done it so well on that, I think it's going to be duplicated on this if we can ever get out of it. Obviously, being a scooter, we've got 2 brakes for the left and the right at the front. This is absolutely pandemonium. People with their trailers doing 3.10s. Anyway, terribly sorry, ran over. We've got a foot brake down the bottom, so when we're stationary at traffic lights we can just rest our feet on that. We've also got a parking brake which is on the lower left hand side of the column, which is just down here. You literally pull it to activate it and then kind of pull it out 5% and then push it in to deactivate. Another thing that this bike has got, hopefully I can show you now, is traffic light assist, something like that. Basically, top left hand corner there's a grey button. You pull it and you heard it beep. Look at my feet. The bike is holding me upright. I've got no feet down, I haven't got the side stand down, the bike is doing that by itself. Now you do need to be mindful because any movement from the throttle will deactivate it. So as soon as you start pulling off, that stability control is going to turn off, and if you're not going fast enough you might fall over. Something I've not seen before or tried out, so we'll try it again when we stop and try and get a better angle of it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm under the impression you can activate it whilst you're still rolling forward. So say if you're coming up to some traffic lights and you are almost stopped, you can activate it then. So then when you do stop, the bike will then hold itself upright. You don't need to take your feet off the footboards, and then so yeah, you just twist the throttle when it's a green light. Another thing that I find cool with this bike is you do not need a bike license. If you have a full car license, you can buy this bike. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it, but I do recommend doing your CBT as well, just so you got some experience and teached knowledge of riding a bike on the road, because driving a car and riding a bike are 2 completely different things. There's more hazards that we've got to look out for than you sat in your car, music on, aircon on, chilling the bean. The type of biker that gives us all bad names. It's 19 degrees, so he's in his shirt with his sleeve rolled up, shorts and trainers. I mean, that bike looked like it was hanging out a bit, I'm not gonna lie. And there's me, armoured shoes, AAA rated armoured jeans, and my dying AC jacket. Yeah, I am hot, I am sweaty, but I'm protected. Honestly, I hate bikers that don't wear gear. I used to live in Cyprus and it was 40 odd degrees and I'd still be wearing full leathers. Anywho, ran over. Throttle response on this is super easy and it's just nice and really like slowly progressive. Yeah, it's a 300cc. This is going to be the bike you take around town. It's not going to necessarily be the one that you get out in the back roads. I'm not saying it can't handle it, but this is definitely going to be something for around town. So right now, coming to a red light, let's try it. I've pulled it and the bike's holding me. Oh, it's so strange. Problem is you still have to hold the brakes, or one of the brakes, because it does roll forward. All it does is stabilise the bike. I'm going to put my foot down, because the problem is as soon as you say touch the throttle, it deactivates it. So if you touch the throttle and you're doing 2 miles an hour, you're gonna tip over. So that flash in there is that stability control. It's telling you it's not activated. brakes are okay on this. You do have to pull quite a bit to get the thing stopped, but like I said, this is going to be an around town bike. Speeds are going to be pretty slow as is. Oh, it's warm. Suspension on this is actually really nice. It's kind of just right. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. You can feel some of the bumps, but nowhere near some of the other suspension I've tested lately. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Car. Please apply your brakes. Handbrake down here, like I said, just pull it, and there you go. Get a big red P. And you know, handbrake's applied. And if I wanted to now as well, here's a big loud beat. I could pull that stability control. So where I am on a bit of an incline. Nothing. To deactivate it, pull it forward, and it just releases. This bike does have the winter pack on, so we've got heated grips. The Yamaha do a really nice integrated kind of button setup compared to some of the other aftermarket options out there. It's a nice little added feature. I believe normally it does come with that big old poncho cover looking thing, but they haven't put it on. And we have got the oversized screen. Wind protection, it's kind of at the upper edge of my helmet, on our eyebrows and above. It's not too bad. It's not that kind of, there's no real bad buffeting kind of wind noise on it. Ergonomics then, 6'1". There's actually plenty of room for me to move around. You've got the forward foot mounted area, you've got the central one, and yeah, there's obviously loads of cockpit area. The seat's comfortable because it's a big old thing back there. Handlebars are at a nice distance. If I was in the market for a scooter, this is something that you should be checking out. Yeah, it's not the Forza 750, that has got a big old engine in it, but I don't know why buying a scooter with a massive engine. You might as well buy something like this, cheap on tax and insurance. Fuel economy is going to be on point, easy to ride, massive storage. I'll show you that when we stop. Like this, like the handling, you kind of forget you're on. You got two wheels at the front. Like it's just nice and slow and gentle manoeuvring. Like if you try and do it quickly, then yeah, you can start to feel kind of there is that laboured approach to turning. If you ride this nice and gently and smoothly, you won't even be able to tell. A little bit of noise on the top of the wind, a little bit of wind noise on top of the helmet. Apart from that, it ain't too bad. To deactivate the stability control, once you've activated it without pulling the throttle, is you just double tap the little grey button. So looking at the engine then, obviously it's a 300cc, but we do have 29 newton meters of torque and 28 brake horsepower. It's not the most, but in a scooter you don't need it. This is actually a really enjoyable bike to ride in the scooter world. Looking at some of the electronics then, we do have LEDs all around, and I think the front looks actually pretty good. We've got an LCD screen at the front, large enough, shows you what you need. It's nothing fancy. Obviously heated grips are extra. 12-volt socket on the lower right hand side, but there's not really anywhere to mount your phone. You might have to do like a sticky mount at the top here, or maybe get a wing mirror clamp. Underneath the seat we have got a large storage area which should be capable of holding 2 helmets, but obviously like anything, depending on the size of the helmets, depending on the shape, yada yada. But what you need to know is there's a massive amount of storage underneath this seat. It's kind of my new favourite spot for a little short demo ride from Branson's. Let's pull over and have a look at the bike. Just quickly, activate the stability control, handbrake is on, no side stand, and that's what I mean. Holds itself. Here we go then, this is the sand grey. I actually quite like the front of it. What do you think of the twin wheels at the front? I wasn't sure when I saw the Nikon, and like I said, after being on both the Nikon and this, you kind of forget that there's 2 wheels at the front. But it's really nice to get the extra stability as well, especially if it's going to be doing the wet stuff. More stability is always needed. Another great feature using the stability control, it is activated now, is walking it around garage, car park, anything like that. You can leave it activated without touching the throttle, and the bike will hold itself upright to enable you to not worry about losing the weight to the far side or it dropping towards you. Looking on the brakes then, we do have 267mm discs at the front, one per wheel, and then same at the rear, a single 267. Bit of a close up, that is the foot brake. And then we've got the handbrake as well on the left hand side. The bike is keyless, so all you're going to do is come down to this centre part, you're going to push it in and move it over once, and that's open. And then you've got the fuel on the left hand side. If you push that, opens up the little fuel cap down there, and then right hand side is the seat. Push that once, and then here we go. Like I said, 2 helmets depending on what shape and everything, but more than enough space for any shopping as well. And then to start the bike, all you can do, turn it over again onto on, the screen comes alive, and then usual score for a scooter, you do need to be pulling in one of the brakes, and it cannot have the centre stand down. And then once you're finished, you just turn it. At the minute I've left it on open just to show you. If you start walking away, it starts beeping, just let you know you've left it on. So a nice little safety feature so someone doesn't come along and nick it. Simple as that. Well, let's get on and finish the review. Seat height 795, I'm 6'1", and just about get the both feet flat on the floor. It's because the seat kind of really does spread your legs quite wide. Actually, it is a really low seat in comparison to other bikes. It's just the amount it spreads it. This bike does have a pretty hefty weight to it, coming in at 239 kilos. So it's not light. This is the same weight as a BMW GS, but then it does have an extra wheel. This bike is going to come in 3 different colours, and that's blue, sand grey, which is this, a bit more creamy, and then your kind of traditional grey. And all 3 of those are going to set you back at the same price at £8,410. It's quite a lot of money for a scooter, but if you want 2 wheels, well 3 wheels in this case, you're only really going around town. Like, it can handle some of these back roads, but you're not going to have the most fun on it. But if you are going to be doing more town riding and you want comfort and you want space and you want the extra stability with that 3rd wheel, this is definitely something you should be considering. Right there was a log or a bit of tree that had fallen under that car, come out quite quick, and 1 wheel went over it, and I didn't worry. I wasn't worried that my wheel was going to kick out and I was going to lose it, because I got another one at the front. So it's not the quickest to move around, but it is easy to get it to turn. It's easy to put it where you want it. Full throttle, here we go, a jambalaya. Yamaha do claim for this to have a top speed of 80 miles an hour, which is more than enough. But yay! A horn indeed. Yeah, the brakes aren't the best if you're going a little bit faster and you do need to get stopped. Because like I said, there's 240 kilos on this plus my weight. We're pushing it. So you do need to apply a lot of force to get this thing stopped. Hey, look at me go! Look at me, ma! I'm a real boy! So going 50, I'm on the brakes really hard, and now I'm at 20. Don't know what that shows you. I couldn't tell you the time, the distance, but all I know is it took a lot of strength to get it from 50 down to something more manageable like 20. But if you take this easy, you just enjoy the ride, enjoy the road, and it's pretty, and I like it. I got time for this bike. Scooter. And lastly, we do have a 13 litre fuel tank in this bad boy. Yamaha reckon you're going to get around 225 miles to a tank. That's actually pretty good for a tank of that size. You look at the BMW GS, that's got a 20 litre fuel tank, and that's getting around that similar type of mileage. So for only having 13 litres, the fuel efficiency on this is on point. Well, ladies and gents, I think I've covered off everything I need to for the Yamaha Tricity 300. If you like this video, found it helpful, give us a like and a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. Nothing else to say, but until the next one, ride safe.